Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. So today's video we're going to be reviewing the Morphe 35C Everyday Chic palette. So stick around, I'm going to be doing a kind of general review, a little demo, and also some comparisons with some other like popular palettes. So hey guys, it's Becky and welcome to my channel. If you're new, please subscribe and please like this video, as that will really help me out. And if you're one of my subscribers, thank you so much for coming back. It really does mean the world to me. So sorry if you can hear any noise. I am filming right next to a road, and also there's some really fabulous building works going on next to me, so that's great. It's been going on for the last week and they're literally using every possible loud piece of machinery ever. So sorry if you can hear that. So I got this palette maybe 3 weeks ago. I'm probably a little bit late to the game, but I still wanted to kind of give my 5 cents worth about this shadow palette. So I will say that Morphe recently have been really impressing me with their releases. I feel like they're now investing in their own color stories, investing more in the palettes and the design, and spending a little bit more time on them, which I've definitely been noticing. I love the pony palette. I think it was called like Icy Fantasy. I thought the color story of that was absolutely stunning. The packaging was beautiful. And then they came out with this palette, which I feel like is such a shift from all the warm tone palettes that they were releasing obviously a few years ago, you know, like 35O, 3502, 3503, whatever it was. So really pleased to see them doing something different, something new, and something that's catching my personal attention. So I'm just going to read to you what it says on the box, just so we can get an overall vibe of the palette. So it says, take your look from daytime to date night with this palette of stylish stunners. Neutral shades of taupe and camel are complemented with soft hues of purple, jade and sapphire. With velvety matte and eye-catching shimmer finishes, these shades add a touch of glam to any occasion. And I would agree, like this palette is so up my street. So the packaging, really cute, obviously with their new branding. Well, not that new, but obviously much nicer than that chunky red letters. Does anyone remember that? So the thing I really like as well is the palette does come in this little bubble wrap sleeve, so it'd be really hard for it to come broken, which is nice because there's nothing worse than getting a shadow palette in the mail shattered. That's happened to me so many times. So this is great, really protects it. Will say mine's a bit dirty because I have been using it, but I do like the packaging. It will be really easy to clean, just get like a makeup wipe and just wipe it down. I love the new packaging. It's just so like sleek and sophisticated. Really loving the kind of like rose gold, like pinky like look we've got going on here, and the fact it says like everyday chic, I just prefer it. It's just new, it's nice, I enjoy it. Now on to the most important part, obviously the shadows. So the one thing I wish they would do is put the shadow names on the palette. Like I think they've said in the past it costs quite a bit of money to do, but it just brings the whole kind of like story together, I feel. So I think I'm just gonna like stick this to which way does it go? This way? That's what I mean. I think I'm just gonna stick it to here when I get some glue or something, but I'm just gonna pop this to the side, and I'm not really gonna talk about what each shade name is because it's just so like complicated right now to like correspond them. But here is the palette. As you can see, absolutely stunning. So you've definitely got like a cool neutral color story, a pink color story, purple, and then you're going into some more cooler jewel tones, and then you've got a row of really deep tones that you can really smoke a look out with. I just thought this palette was so stunning. I just thought there was so much you could do with it, and I just know personally that I'm going to get a lot of wear out of it. I will say as well, I love the fact that they've got this really pretty light pink plastic insert holding all the shadows together. I just think it really rounds out the palette. It sounds so silly, but these little things really do kind of add up to make a really good overall impression of a palette. So let me just cut to some footage of some swatches. So, oh my gosh, was this hard trying to get 35 swatches on my arm. So as you can see, like a huge range of shades. You've got loads of matte transition shades for kind of any kind of look you ever wanted to do, to be honest. You've got taupes, camels, mauves, and then some really interesting like bubblegum pinks and lavenders, and then you've got some really beautiful deep mattes as well to play with, like that forest green, and then obviously the shimmers, absolutely stunning. I love so many of the shimmers in here. The one shade I think is the worst shade is the glitter. I think the glitter is literally just designed to pull you into this palette. I'm not a huge glitter wearer, so I was never like that enamored by that. That wasn't the reason why I bought this palette. And I will say, if you are just buying it for that glitter, like, I wouldn't bother. It just didn't wow me, but everything else I think is absolutely stunning. And like I said, I have used this a couple of times and it's performed really, really well. Okay, so let's get into a little demo of this eye look. All right guys, so I've got my headband on and I'm gonna do a little demo now, just with the eyeshadows in the palette. So I think I'm just gonna do something really simple because that's just my style of makeup. I'm no, as I have said, I'm no makeup artist. I just like doing really pretty, cute makeup. So that's what I'm gonna do with this. I'm just going to quickly put some eyeshadow primer on. I'm putting the Essence I Love Colour Intensifying Eyeshadow Base. I use this all the time, so I just thought it'd be the best thing to use the palette with. Get my words out. And also there's so much noise coming out from the road, so sorry about that if you can hear it. Okay, so eyeshadow base is on. So I'm just going to take the little name flimsy out because otherwise it's going to get on our nerves, isn't it guys? So first up, I'm going to use this cream shade here just to set my eyeshadow base, and this is something I do with all my looks. Get my mirror. So it applies really nicely. It's actually got quite a bit of pigment, this cream shade, so if you like to do kind of more like cut creases with a matte cream or something like that, I think this would be a really good option. I really like it just because obviously I like a cream matte shade just to set my eyeshadow bases, and some eyeshadow palettes don't have that, which I find really strange because I think it's like a necessity, but whatever. So I will say actually it comes up a slightly little bit deeper than a normal cream shade, but I'm fine with that because it kind of matches my skin tone, so all good. So next I'm gonna go in with this like mauve light pinky matte color in my crease. So this shade is super pigmented, as you can tell. I even tapped some off my brush, so yeah, super pigmented. But it does blend really nicely, and I think it gives a really pretty, like, romantic look, this shade. If you can see here, it goes up really nice with my top. I planned ahead, as you can tell. So next, I think I'm just gonna deepen a little bit with this kind of like matte, I would call it a mulberry shade right here. I haven't tried this one yet, so let's give it a go. Definitely tapping this one off. So first layer, maybe not as much pigment as I was expecting because that other shade was so pigmented. So I'm just gonna add another layer. Okay, so I think that's deepened it up just enough. Like I said, I quite like light kind of blown out romantic look, so I'm not going to deepen up too much obviously as well because I am quite fair. I think this shade would be perfectly fine if you didn't tap off and wanted to deepen up something a little bit more, and obviously you have some much deeper shades obviously in this palette as well, so I think you'll be able to create some quite smoky looks if you're into that. And for whatever reason, it looks like this side's coming off a lot darker than the other side. So I'm just gonna get another brush to quickly like blend it. I love these Real Techniques. I think it's called like their blue range. I have quite a few brushes from this line and I really like it. All right, so I think that's all I'm gonna do for mattes for now. I'm now gonna go on to a shimmer shade. So for the shimmer shade, normally I would probably go for like a pinky shimmer, a bit like maybe like this bubblegummy pink or this kind of like taupey color down here. But I did try the other day using like this gold shimmer, and it looked absolutely stunning with the pink. Like I've never done a look like that before, so I'm really glad this kind of this eyeshadow palette is helping me kind of explore different kind of color schemes. So yeah, I'm just gonna go on and throw this gold on again like I did the other day so you guys can see. And I am gonna wet my brush because that's how I use all my shimmers. I'm using my Primark Prime and Infuse, which is literally like the best dupe for MAC Fix Plus I've ever found. I feel like Morphe have always been good at these kind of like metallic, wet look shimmer shades. Like even in like old school, they did the 35O shimmer palette that my friend had. And they're really good at, I think they're pretty good at doing mattes as well. But I've always liked Morphe shimmer shades just because they're so almost like metallized, if you know what I mean. It's such an interesting color combo that I've like fallen in love with. Like you've probably seen it done elsewhere, but to me it's new, so there we go. And then I'm just gonna pop this the lightest shimmer shade in the palette on my inner corner. Again, absolutely beautiful. I feel like this palette really does have everything. Like it's got your matte cream shade, your light shimmer shade, you've got some really dark mattes to deepen stuff up, and you've got so many different types of transition shades in this palette. I really do rate it. And then I think I am just gonna smoke a little bit of that first transition shade just under my eyes, just to kind of really make this quite like dramatic and pretty. Okay, so that's the finished shadow look. Let me pop some mascara on and I'll give you a little bit of a close-up. Okay, so here are the final final look. I just think it's really pretty, really feminine, and I feel like there's so many other things you can do with this palette, but this would be definitely my go-to look. What do you guys think? And so finally, I just wanted to compare this palette with some kind of more higher end mini palettes that I personally love, but I think they're kind of maybe a little bit similar. So the first one is the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk palette. Now this is one of my absolute favorites. Like as you can see, I have used the hell out of it. So I originally bought this palette with kind of the idea that it's going to be basically like the 35 version of the Pillow Talk palette. But I will say the Pillow Talk palette is definitely warmer. You could create definitely like a similar look, but I will say this wasn't the comparison I personally thought it was going to be, and that's why I wanted to just include it in this video, just to kind of say like, if you were thinking you could get a similar look, you could probably get something slightly similar, but it won't be exact. I'd say the only shades really are the two matte shades. So these two matte shades here are very similar to this shade here and this shade here. So these two shades are kind of similar, but like I said, these are a lot cooler in the Morphe palette compared to the Charlotte Tilbury. So I just thought for comparison, this was quite a good one, because I honestly thought I could probably dupe this with this palette, but I can't. And then another comparison I thought this was kind of similar to was the Nude Light palette from Huda. So this is a great little palette I got a couple of months ago, and I have been using it quite a bit. And I will say it is actually quite similar. Like I feel like I could dupe out quite a lot of colors. So I feel like if you have this and you want to kind of expand this color story a little bit, I feel like this is like, is like the 35 version of this palette. I really do enjoy this palette. So I think adding this 35 to my collection is a really great move on my behalf. I will say Huda's formula is probably a bit more pigmented, and her shimmers are awesome as well. So I will say Huda's probably slightly better on the quality side, but obviously the price, I think they're about the same price. So obviously you're getting a lot more bang for your buck on this eyeshadow palette. But yeah, if you like this color story, if you have this and you kind of are looking to expand a little bit more, I think this Morphe palette could be a really good investment to add to your collection. So my final review is I really like it, and I feel like Morphe are really stepping up their game. Obviously I don't have a code with Morphe. I bought this entirely out of my own money. I did make sure I used a 20% off code from somewhere because I want to save that coin. But for how much it was, I think it ended up costing me maybe like 25 pounds maybe. I think I'll put the price here somewhere on the screen. I think for how much it costs, and when you're comparing it to kind of palettes like that Huda mini palette, I think it's such a good buy, and you can do so much with it. So if this is a color story that is calling to you, I'd say just go for it. The quality is really great, and I know I'm going to get so much use out of it. It's probably going to be like one of my everyday palettes that I'll just kind of leave out on my vanity. So yeah, and also shout out, I think her name is Michaela on TikTok. She's got like 1 million followers, so she doesn't really need me to shout her out. But she done this TikTok and did this incredible purple look and was basically like, this palette's amazing, go buy it. So shout out to her. If you're on TikTok and you haven't seen her videos, which I can't imagine you haven't because again, super popular, go watch her video. I can't stop watching her videos. I love them. And she's got this amazing accent, which I just find like strangely addictive. So go watch her TikToks. She'll make you buy all the palettes. So if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, please like, and please leave me a comment below of any shadow palettes that you think are similar to this, and let me know if you're thinking of picking it up. So I hope you guys are staying safe and well, and I'll catch you later. Bye!